The church bells ring softly in the distance. White roses line the aisle. Sarah Martinez, 28, stands in her white wedding dress, but her posture is different from other brides. Her shoulders are straight, her eyes alert. 5 years as a combat medic in Afghanistan taught her to never let her guard down completely. "Do you, Sarah Martinez, take this man to be your husband?" the priest asks with a gentle smile. Sarah looks into her fiancé Mark's eyes. After 3 tours of duty, after seeing so much pain and loss, she finally found peace with this man. "I do," she whispers, her voice cracking with emotion. The moment should be perfect. But nothing in Sarah's life ever stays perfect for long. Crash. The church doors explode inward. Wood splinters fly through the air like deadly rain. Wedding guests scream and dive under the wooden pews. 12 men in black tactical gear storm in, automatic weapons raised. Their faces are hidden behind dark masks, but their intent is crystal clear. The leader, a tall man with cold eyes visible through his mask, points his rifle at the altar. "Nobody moves, nobody dies," he shouts in a thick accent. "We want the girl. The soldier girl." Sarah's blood runs cold. They're here for her. After all these years, her past has finally caught up with her wedding day. Mark grabs her hand. "Sarah, what's happening? Who are these people?" But Sarah already knows. The faces from her nightmares. The mission that went wrong in Kandahar 2 years ago. The arms dealer who swore revenge before she put him behind bars. Dmitry Volkov. He must have sent them. "Get behind me," Sarah tells Mark, her voice now steady and commanding. The trembling bride is gone. The soldier has returned. The lead gunman steps forward, his boots echoing on the marble floor. "Sarah Martinez, you cost me $20 million and 5 years of my life. Today you pay the price." Sarah slowly reaches for the hem of her wedding dress. Hidden beneath the white silk, strapped to her thigh, is the Glock 19 she never travels without. Old habits from the battlefield die hard. "Let these people go," Sarah says calmly, stepping in front of the terrified wedding guests. "Your fight is with me, not them." The gunman laughs. How touching. The bride wants to protect her little sheep. In one fluid motion, Sarah grabs her weapon, drops to one knee and fires 3 quick shots. The first gunman drops. The others scramble for cover behind the church pillars. "Mark, get everyone out the back exit." Sarah shouts. "Now." Her military training kicks in completely. Years of combat experience flood back. She's no longer Sarah the bride. She's Sergeant Martinez, the medic who saved 30 lives under enemy fire in Afghanistan. Gunfire erupts. Bullets shatter stained glass windows, sending colored fragments cascading down like deadly confetti. Sarah rolls behind the altar, her white dress now torn and dirty. She counts the muzzle flashes. 11 men left. Limited ammunition in her single weapon. Not good odds, but she's faced worse. "Sarah." Mark calls from the back door. "Come on. Go without me," she shouts back. "Get them to safety." She can't run. If she runs, these killers will hunt down everyone she loves. Her family, her friends, Mark. This ends here today in this church. Sarah closes her eyes for a moment, remembering her fallen comrades. Rodriguez, who died saving civilians in Kabul. Thompson, who gave his life protecting a school full of children. They fought impossible odds and never gave up. Neither will she. Sarah studies the church layout with tactical precision. 4 pillars provide cover. 2 side entrances point one main aisle. The bell tower stairs on the left. She has advantages these mercenaries don't expect. She knows this church. She's been planning her wedding here for 8 months. Every corner, every hiding spot, every tactical position. Moving low and fast, Sarah sprints to the side altar. A gunman emerges from behind a pillar, rifle raised. Sarah slides across the marble floor and puts 2 bullets in his chest before he can fire. 10 left. "Spread out," the leader shouts angrily. "Find her." But Sarah is already moving. She learned urban warfare from the best instructors in the army. These mercenaries are skilled, but they're fighting on her ground now. She reaches the confession booth and quietly opens the small door. Inside, she finds what she hoped for. Father Miguel keeps a first aid kit here and, more importantly, a radio for emergencies. "This is Sarah Martinez," she whispers into the radio. "I need police and military backup at St. Mary's Church. Multiple armed hostiles. Code red situation." The response crackles back. "Units dispatched. ETA 12 minutes. 12 minutes. She just has to survive 12 more minutes. Sarah moves through the church like a ghost, using every shadow, every corner. She learned stealth operations in the mountains of Afghanistan, where one wrong step meant death. A mercenary creeps down the side aisle, sweeping his rifle left and right. He doesn't see Sarah above him in the choir loft until it's too late. She drops down behind him, wraps her arm around his throat, and puts him to sleep without firing a shot. 9 left. But the leader is getting frustrated. "Burn it down," he orders. "If we can't take her alive, we'll take her dead." One of his men throws something small and metallic. Sarah recognizes it instantly, an incendiary grenade. Fire blooms across the wooden pews. Smoke begins to fill the church. Now she's fighting fire as well as bullets. Sarah rips off part of her wedding veil and ties it around her nose and mouth. The smoke gives her cover, but it also makes breathing difficult. She has to end this fast. As bullets fly around her, Sarah's mind flashes to 2 years ago in Afghanistan. She was treating wounded soldiers when insurgents attacked their field hospital. Outnumbered and outgunned, she held them off for 40 minutes until reinforcements arrived. She saved 12 lives that day. Today she's fighting to save the most important life of all, her future with Mark. She thinks about their first date, how nervous Mark was. How he spilled coffee on his shirt trying to impress her. How he held her when the nightmares came, when the memories of war kept her awake. "I'll always protect you," he had promised. "And I'll always protect you," she had answered. Today she's keeping that promise. Sarah reaches the bell tower stairs. Higher ground means tactical advantage. She climbs quickly, her torn wedding dress making movement difficult. Behind her, heavy boots echo on the stone steps. At the top of the tower, she has a clear view of the entire church. 8 mercenaries left, moving through the smoke-filled sanctuary like deadly shadows. She also sees something that fills her with hope: police cars surrounding the building. Red and blue lights flash through the stained glass windows. Help has arrived. But the leader sees them too. He speaks into his radio. "Plan B. Take the hostages." Sarah's heart stops. Through the smoke, she sees 3 of his men dragging wedding guests who didn't escape in time. Her elderly grandmother. Mark's young nephew. The priest who was going to marry them. The choice is clear: surrender and save them, or fight and risk their lives. "Martinez," the leader shouts from below. "Come down or we start killing your precious family." Sarah looks at her rifle. 3 bullets left. 8 trained killers below. Innocent people in danger. She thinks about what her drill sergeant used to say: a soldier's greatest weapon isn't their gun. It's their willingness to sacrifice everything for others. Sarah takes a deep breath and starts walking down the stairs, her hands raised. "Let them go," she calls out. "I surrender." The leader smiles coldly as she reaches the bottom. The famous Sarah Martinez. "You cost me everything. Now you'll pay with your life." But Sarah isn't giving up. She's getting closer. As the leader raises his rifle, Sarah spots something he doesn't see: Mark creeping through the smoke behind him. Her brave fiancé came back for her. "Any last words, soldier girl?" the leader asks. Sarah looks him straight in the eyes. "Yeah. You should have brought more men." Mark strikes from behind, tackling the leader. Sarah spins and disarms the nearest mercenary. Chaos erupts as police storm through the doors, shouting commands. Gunfire echoes through the church one final time. When the smoke clears, the remaining mercenaries are either down or surrendering. Sarah stands in the middle of the battlefield that was supposed to be her wedding day. Her white dress is torn and stained with smoke and blood. Her veil is gone. Her carefully arranged hair falls around her shoulders. But she's alive. Mark is alive. Her family is safe. 2 hours later, as paramedics treat minor injuries and police take statements, Sarah sits on the church steps with Mark. The sun is setting, casting golden light through the damaged stained glass windows. "So," Mark says quietly, putting his arm around her. "That wasn't exactly the wedding day we planned." Sarah laughs, surprising herself. After everything they've been through, she can still laugh. "No, it definitely wasn't." "The dress is ruined," Mark observes. "The cake is probably melted," Sarah adds. "The flowers are scattered everywhere." The priest is in shock. They sit in comfortable silence for a moment, watching police clean up the scene. "Sarah," Mark says finally, "I need to ask you something." She looks at him worried. After seeing what her past can bring into their lives, is he having second thoughts? "Do you still want to marry me?" he asks. "Knowing that your enemies might always be looking for you? Knowing that our life together might never be completely peaceful?" Sarah considers the question seriously. She could lie, tell him the danger is over. But Mark deserves the truth. "My past will always be part of me," she says. The missions I ran, the people I fought, the lives I saved, they made me who I am. And sometimes, like today, that past might come calling. She takes his hand in hers. But if you can handle being married to a soldier who will always protect the people she loves, then yes. I still want to marry you. Mark smiles and kisses her forehead. Lady, after what I saw today, I'm more sure than ever. You're the strongest person I know. 1 month later, they have a small ceremony in Mark's backyard. No church this time. Just family, close friends, and very tight security that Sarah arranged through her military contacts. She wears a simple white dress and carries a small bouquet of white roses. Mark wears his best suit and can't stop smiling. The priest from the original wedding, Father Miguel, performs the ceremony. He's recovered from the trauma and insists on finishing what they started. Do you, Sarah Martinez, take this man to be your husband in combat and in peace, in danger and in safety, for as long as you both shall live? Sarah looks at Mark, then at the guest who survived that terrifying day with them. Her grandmother gives her an encouraging nod. Mark's nephew, no longer scared, waves from the front row. I do, Sarah says firmly. And do you, Mark Stevens, take this warrior woman to be your wife, knowing that adventure and courage will always be part of your story together? Mark grins. I absolutely do. When they kiss, their friends cheer. Military friends fire a salute into the air. Sarah's old unit sergeant presents them with a flag that flew over their base in Afghanistan. It's not the fairy tale wedding Sarah once dreamed of as a little girl. It's better. It's real. It's built on truth, courage, and the knowledge that they can face anything together. 5 years later, Sarah works at the local VA hospital, helping veterans adjust to civilian life. She keeps her skills sharp at the shooting range and still carries her weapon everywhere. Old habits. Mark became a police detective, inspired by seeing real courage in action. They understand each other's work, the dangers and the necessity of protecting others. They have 2 children now, a 4-year-old daughter who insists on wearing camouflage dresses, and a 2-year-old son who builds forts out of couch cushions. Sometimes, Sarah still has nightmares about that wedding day. But more often, she dreams about the moment she realized that real love means finding someone willing to fight alongside you when the world turns dangerous. She learned in the army that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite the fear. Marriage, she discovered, requires the same kind of courage. Every morning, she kisses Mark goodbye before they both head to work protecting their community. Every evening, they come home to their children and the peaceful life they fought to build. The 12 armed men thought they could destroy her happiness. Instead, they proved that some things are worth fighting for, and some people are strong enough to fight for them. Sarah Martinez is still a soldier. She's also a wife, a mother, and a woman who learned that the best battles are the ones you fight for love. In her bedroom drawer, wrapped in tissue paper, she keeps a piece of her torn wedding veil from that day. Not as a reminder of trauma, but as a reminder of strength. It reminds her that she's a warrior who chose love over fear, and that sometimes the most important victories happen when everything seems lost. The church was rebuilt 6 months after the attack. Sarah and Mark donated the money for new stained glass windows. If you visit on a sunny day, the colored light still falls across the altar in beautiful patterns. But now those windows tell a different story, not just of saints and angels, but of ordinary people who find extraordinary courage when the people they love are threatened. Some fairy tales end with, happily ever after. This one ends with, and they fought for their happiness, every single day. This script combines military action with emotional depth, starting with immediate conflict to grab attention while using simple, clear English throughout. The story shows how love and military training can combine to create an unstoppable force when protecting family.